Hi everyone, this is Alyssa and you are watching Always Cinema Chic. I want to start out by saying how incredibly excited I am to start this channel. I've been a cinephile ever since I was 16 years old and I saw Trainspotting for the first time. I've been addicted to movies ever since then. I watch probably about 5 to 7 movies per week. So the whole purpose of this channel is I just wanted to do film reviews for new releases that are just coming out on Blu-ray, DVD, so that you guys can stay at home, have a night in, and know what to and what not to watch. Every once in a while I might do a movie from the movie theater, but really I'm going to try to stick primarily to movies that have just been released on DVD, and also some classic movies that I think you should watch if you're not sure what to watch for a particular weekend or weekday or whenever you're watching a movie. So my first film that I'm going to start with is Song to Song. Now the reason is I've been waiting for this movie to come out since 2011 when I found that Ryan Gosling, Rooney Mara, Michael Fassbender were making a movie in Austin, Texas, which is one of my favorite cities in America, during the South by Southwest Music Festival with all of the bands that I love, directed by Terrence Malick. And I thought, this is it. This is the movie that was made for me. I meant to watch this film. And then I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and it just never came out. Night of Cups, which was actually filmed after Song to Song, came out the year previously. And I understand that Terrence Malick is the type of filmmaker who does that. He takes his time to create something that's perfect, and then he puts it out. The only problem is that some of his movies lately, in my opinion, haven't been perfect. So when I saw To the Wonder and I saw Night of Cups, I didn't really like these films. I thought The Tree of Life was groundbreaking, but these films were missing something, some kind of depth. So I was a little bit nervous going into Song to Song, but I can actually say that I couldn't be happier for how this movie turned out. It's everything that I wanted it to be, and while it retains that kind of abstract quality that Terrence Malick always uses, it has something that has been lacking in his past few films, and that is a plot, which seems kind of important, something that he's not always concerned with, but there's actually a plot here, and it was a good one. So the film is about BV and Faye, played by Ryan Gosling and Rooney Mara. They are a new couple, they're falling in love, everything seems perfect. And then this guy, Cook, played by Michael Fassbender, he comes in and tries to make their life even more perfect by signing BV to a record deal because he's a musician. So the three of them, they go off gallivanting. They're writing, they're making music, they're playing, they're doing everything together, and they just seem like the best friends you could ever ask for. But the problem is, Cook is not really a human. He doesn't really have a soul. In fact, there's a lot of sort of devil imagery throughout the film that is kind of woven throughout. So he is that snake in the garden that's meant to split these two up, and he does just that very early on in the film by having an affair with Faye, and that of course creates a series of horrible things, and they treat each other horribly. But the film ultimately is about forgiveness and redemption and being able to love a person again, whether or not it is that original person that you fell in love with. Cook is an interesting character because he really does want to be like a human. He tries really hard. I mean, he is a human. This is not science fiction, but you know, he wants to act like a human. And so he meets this waitress, Rhonda, and he just decides he's going to marry her. And so Rhonda, who's played by Natalie Portman, she gives up her body, she gives up her soul, all so that she can be financially secure. Because the one thing that Cook does have is money. So that's sort of how all the characters play and kind of interweave with each other throughout. Now, don't get me wrong, this is still a film that is very lyrical. It feels like you're watching a poem, but there definitely is a plot that's driving you forward and characters that you care about. And now, here's where I realized the problem was with those past Terrence Malick movies. It's the actors. I think because Terrence Malick, he doesn't write a full script. So you're going in and you're improvising a lot. So you have to have really charismatic actors. If you don't, the film is just going to fall flat on its face. And that's the problem with some of his earlier works, most notably To the Wonder. Ben Affleck should never have been in that role. I really don't think he has the emotional depth that is required for a Terrence Malick film. But I'm going to give full disclosure here and say that 3 of my favorite actors are in this film. So when I'm reviewing them, I might be like overly praising them, but I don't think I am because they really are my favorite. Obviously, Mr. Ryan Gosling, who's doing all right. He's fallen a little, but he's gonna be okay. He is by far, he's my favorite actor. My second favorite actor is Tom Hardy. Third favorite actor is Michael Fassbender. So these actors made the film. Ryan Gosling playing BV, he's kind of playing a somewhat perfect guy because he believes in a pure, singular love. But he's not perfect, and you do see emotional depth there. There's one great scene that I love where he sees his estranged father that he hasn't seen for years and years, and it's a very complex scene. There's so much regret and anger and hostility and love, and I thought he just played that scene so beautifully. Rooney Mara, who I absolutely love, she's one of my favorite actresses. She had a sort of levity and lightness to her in this film, which I don't always associate with her. I mean, I loved her as Lisbeth Salander, or Salander, however you say it, from The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, but she has such heaviness, and I felt like she carried some of that heaviness with her throughout her roles, but for some reason, I would like to think Ryan Gosling, there is a lightness to her, even though her character is not perfect. And there are lines where she talks about how she feels that she's not really a human and she doesn't have a soul and she doesn't deserve love. And there's a lot of darkness there, but there's a lot of smiles as well, which I don't always expect with a Terrence Malick film. But once again, the chemistry between Ryan Gosling and Rooney Mara was just incredible. Then you bring in Michael Fassbender, who is really just this imp. He's literally jumping around in certain scenes of the film. He has so much energy. You can tell he loves playing evil and he loves just being mischievous, and he just works so well in this film. There were aspects of the character Brandon from Shame that I kind of saw woven into this character. He's definitely sexually a bit more depraved, so you have always the contrast, the archetypes going on within the film. So I just thought the acting was fantastic. And then just to bring it back around to Terrence Malick, I felt like he created something that was beautiful. He does still use some of those techniques that he'll fall back on. Like, he'll always use that fisheye lens. He's always going to use that low angle shot that makes the human look like they are equally big to nature, that humans are egotistical and we think that we are greater than nature. He uses similar shots over and over again, but this film really is beautiful, and I felt like he really got back on track with this one, and I can't wait to see where he goes next, although I do hope that he goes in a somewhat different direction. Not that I want him to abandon that abstract quality, but I felt like his past 4 films were very similar. It could be a quadrilogy. Don't even know if that's a word, but that's what it could be. And I just kind of want to see something different from him. So the way I'm going to grade these films is basically in 2 ways. It's going to get a grade as a film, meaning its artistic merit, but then it's also going to get a grade for watchability. I mean, what could I say? I'm a teacher. I like giving multiple grades. I teach English and film. So for film, I would give this 3.5 out of 4 stars. Like I said, there are some techniques that he falls back into, which is why I wouldn't push it to that 4-star filmmaking. But in terms of watchability, and once again, this is only for me, I would give it 4 out of 4 stars, because you can't get more watchable than my favorite actors in one of my favorite places, in a storyline that I love. I mean, it's something that I will go back and watch again and again. So I'm just so excited that I loved it this much. I think for the average person watching this film, like if I just took an average person off the street, the watchability might be 2.5 out of 4 stars, might be 2 out of 4 stars. But if you want to give yourself maybe a bit of a challenge and something that's going to make you think, I mean, Song to Song is definitely the way to go. I think it's great for couples. You're definitely going to have a talk about relationships after you watch the film, and I think in the best way possible. It brings up so many wonderful conversation starters. I think even if you're younger, I think you could understand where these characters are coming from. But if you're someone who wants a straight narrative, then this is not the film for you. You like watching, I don't know, I don't want to be mean, but you know, if you watch Transformers and you enjoy that movie, you are not going to enjoy Song to Song at all. But with that said, you should watch it. I hope that you will take a night in and watch a film at home, and remember to make it a cinema chic night. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm really excited to start this channel, and I can't wait to do a bunch more videos for you. Thank you so much. You guys can comment in the bottom if you've seen the film. I would love to know what you think, and stay tuned for more reviews to come. Thank you so much.